darkness falls across the land. Midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize your neighborhood. And whosoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside a corpse's shell. Foulest stenches in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
I forgot how badass this song is in the Sega Genesis version. I'm gonna play it again. have to do that one more time. I might have to do that one more time. I had to, y'all. It sounds just as good as the original. That Sega Genesis sound chip be doing wonders on the music, man. What's up, everybody? MasterBoris with another stream. Welcome. Oh, man. Chicken nuggets with some hot sauce on the combos. Golly. It's crazy in the hood. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. Michael Jackson. There's a lot of things I can talk about regarding to Michael Jackson, his music, everything. We'll probably be here all night. But I'm going to stay on the script that I have in my mind about what I want to say and why he was so massively important to the entertainment business, music, and how much impact he has still to this day, and he's no longer with us. Yeah. One of my biggest main influence regarding to music outside of my family, you know, he's one of the biggest growing up, watching VHS tapes of what my dad recorded, all his music videos he had at the time, copying his dance moves, because you know I dance. That's one of those natural gifts I have that God gave me. And just admiring his work, because what I feel and what I've believed, well, most importantly believe, music can bring us together. And I'm pretty sure he believed that as well. He put a lot of hard work into his craft. A perfectionist. Like, man, his showmanship is incredible. I mean, he was a baby starting out doing the show business. Had to grow up. He didn't have a regular childhood. It was just work, 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 because his dad kept pushing him and his brothers. This is what we're gonna do. But we'll get to Joe later on. But Michael, and including the Jackson family, and including Janet, who was also a big inspiration and influence, me of doing music in general. They made a great impact on the music. Like you really gotta appreciate all of the things that they did for us to listen to, for them to entertain and to also put the message out, and for believing in what they believe, regardless to what they did, what they accomplished. Man, Michael, there's no one like him. I don't think there's ever gonna be a artist like him. Not for 100 years. He is now have the most listeners in the streaming game as of right now. Because, the new generation, it's their turn to like him. That's what the movie was about. That's for the new generation. I'm seeing 5-year-old kids doing the moonwalk. See that sheer impact he has on people that want to dance like him, dress like him, show his appreciation of what he done for the past 6 decades and counting. We ain't gonna have an artist like that. Not for the rest of my lifetime. Maybe the generation Beta's kids will probably, but I don't see it. Not as I'm getting older. Michael Jackson. Man. He want this world a better place. You would never be forgotten, man. Cause he literally cemented his legacy to be worthwhile of people of knowing him. In many generations to come. Now, there are some people that are bitter and jealous of him and want to steer his greatness and to make it something negative about him, which that's going on right now since this movie came out. But that's not stopping people from going to seeing him. Going to seeing and researching him of who he really was while he was on this earth. You know, Mike, man, one of a kind, man. One of a kind. It is so amazing that you have pop stars today that don't come close to him. And he no longer is living in this dimension. It's been 17 years since he passed. I think 17 years ago. Man, that's crazy. But yeah. Bigger he was a big part of my life when it come down to music, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't even escape him and the grasp that he had on the music industry, even if you tried. That's how much of an impact he made. Greatness. You know? He did a lot of stuff. He wasn't just an artist. He was a, you know, a hero to some people. Humanitarian. You know. He was he was a conscious brother too. Like if you listen to some of his songs, man, he was really about his people. For sure. A lot of people like to say, you know, they beg the different about, you know, Michael, but yeah, he was a conscious brother. Especially you gotta listen to him in the songs he did on Thriller and Dangerous and his story. Especially his story. Man. Michael had, like, you have an artist that ruled the Billboard charts for 2 straight decades while he was alive, almost 3. Yeah, it could be 3. Yeah. But he's still ruling the Billboard charts today. And he's no longer living. That's crazy. Like, you got women that's getting ready to have a kid that's not even born yet and is a fan of Michael Jackson. The baby hadn't even been born yet. That's how much power, that's how much impact Michael Jackson has on people, man. I'm still, you know, as I'm thinking about it, wrapping my head around that impact. And rightfully so. Greatly deserved. You know, he was destined to be great. It was already planned. God already had that plan out for him. The aura that he had, man. The most famous person on the planet. People that probably live in a remote island know who Michael Jackson is. That is the sheer importance of him. Timeless records. Timeless records, like you turn it on, it sounds brand new every time you hear it. We're still hearing his songs he did 40, 50 years ago. What artist do you know that's out right now that can do that? What artist do you know that's current and that's alive can do that, can do what Michael can do now? Tell me. Taylor Swift? What? What? I know it seemed like I'm glazing about Michael Jackson, but these are facts, man. These are facts. It's just something about that name, Michael. And named after an archangel. Like, your name is Michael, you probably have some powers. Okay? Don't know what power it is, but you better find what it is, man, and use it for good. Michael Jackson used it for music, for dancing. And he just turn it up every time. Gave it 110%. You see these live performances, you see the concerts he be doing, the music videos, all that. He wanted to be the best. There's something I want to show y'all real quick. Hold on for a second. Nah, not me. Let me see, where is it? I found this on Twitter. It's one of his recording tapes when he was talking to different people on the phone, having conversations. Yeah, I want y'all to check this out real quick.
I was kind of upset about the news I heard about MTV.
And yeah, he was the first guy, the first artist to be featured on MTV. And that was shown in the movie too. And we're going to get to how I feel about the movie in a little bit. But that, you heard it from the horse's mouth. That was him talking. Like he was determined to do the best he could when it came down to his craft of entertaining people that loves what he does in music. All the time. Like, he wants you to remember what he did in his music, what he did, in other things too. I was playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 Sky Chase Zone. Do you know there's like a interpolation of that song of Man in the Mirror? Did you know that? That's probably the reason why he probably heard that. He was like, I want to do the music of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which Michael Jackson did. Michael Jackson is a video gamer, bro. He is a gamer too, you know what I'm saying? That's also want to let y'all know that Michael Jackson was probably the first American to test out Tekken 1. Also test out Virtual Fighter. And he did play Sonic. He got the Sega varsity jacket and all that. There's pictures to prove this. Like, this is something I'm not making up, man. You can research this. You can look all this up. And what I'm about to tell y'all during this stream, too. You know? But yeah, everything he wanted to do is to be great at it. And he did. He wanted to make a lot of noise with his music. He wanted to make classic records. And he did that. He had men and women in the chokehold for real. He couldn't be stopped. He was a juggernaut. He was a juggernaut indeed. Even there was some people that were probably jealous of him and mad that he was so good. They had no choice but to put his music in networks. Because it was that good. And it aged well. You hear Beat It, Billie Jean, Thriller, Bad, Smooth Criminal, Leave Me Alone, The Way You Make Me Feel, I Can't Help It, Working Day and Night, some of his Jackson materials, you know, with his brothers. You know, it still has weight. He was seeing the future. And look, the future, which is now the present, you know, and during his time when he was making these records, are now being played full blast by the new generation of people that love music. That's incredible. That's something that you can do good on this world, you know. Do what God gave you, the talent, the knowledge, and the creativity to be whoever you want to be. You know? But always trust in Him. Always trust in Him and have faith in Him and have God within you. And He will just push you to greatness. He never fails. That goes for everybody. That goes for you. If you're watching this video, you watching this stream, you can do anything. Just like when he said in that movie, which we're going to get into in a minute, if you can see it, you can do it. I felt that. And I believe Michael really said that. That's something that he would say. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to keep it just, you know, about him and the greatness that he had with his musical prowess. Because we can talk about a lot of stuff about Michael surrounding him, the controversies, the conspiracies. People try to bring him down. People making things up of something he didn't do. We can talk about all of that. It'll be probably 3 to 5 hour stream, but I'm going to keep it where his greatness lies at. And appreciate his work. You know? And never, like soon as, like, I felt like, because I do music too. When I feel like I'm starting to get like a writer's block, I play his song. I play his songs. Like, I'm gonna tell you something, cause I did this last week. I played the Dangerous album, and I'm like, how did he get that snare like that? I mean, it's Dangerous album. I like it more than Thriller. I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all put Thriller like the top albums Michael did as a solo artist, but I like Dangerous album better than Thriller. I like Off the Wall better than Thriller. I like Bad better than Thriller. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Maxie the Man hit me up. Because I wished him a happy birthday. A belated birthday. And he just hit me back. Shout outs to Maxie the Man. Yeah, man. Michael Jackson is probably the reason why. No, he is. That UVGM is what it is today. Yeah, man. I want artists to come to UVGM as a safe haven to be a community and improve your craft and music production. And just go ham. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to make music a certain way. You just create what you have so far and get better at it. That's what we all about. And entertaining other people that loves music. That involves in video game remixes, you know? Yeah. And we also do original compositions, but yeah. Yeah, Michael influenced a lot of things. He's probably the reason why, again, he is. Why J-pop and K-pop is around today. See, I've been listening to J-pop and K-pop since the late 90s, early 2000s, okay? You know, I've been an international player due to anime. And there was some songs that had in the anime shows that I used to watch as a kid growing up. I was like, yo, I gotta get this song. So I import. Or I get stuff at the flea market, you know, going with my family, or I let, you know, my friends would like give me stuff that I liked, you know, in anime, and there'd be songs in the anime that I like and I know the artist, you know. But yeah, he had a lot of influence, especially him going on tour, you know, in Japan and all those other countries, man. He's the reason why K-pop and J-pop is in, J-music, K-music is in today. He's the main reason for it. I mean, there's a lot of artists, you know, that influenced that too, but a lot of these, you know, Korean, Japanese artists, they will say Michael Jackson. It's like an inspiration. That was the first thing they would say was Michael Jackson. Now, I know there's some people that probably don't like K-pop now because they're blatantly doing the cultural appropriation, you know, mimicking, you know, black music. I get it, but like I said, it wouldn't. I've been listening to that since the mid 90s, and it wasn't like this. Like they're not. It wasn't as blatant as it is today. Okay, with that cultural appropriation, you know, with K-pop and all that stuff. But yeah, gaming music too, video game music too. Michael influenced, because you know Michael did the the Sonic the Hedgehog 3. He ghostwritten, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 music. Like, okay, because this also comes to mind too. Did you know, if you listen to Launch Base Zone, I think that's both Act 1 and 2. That level on Sonic the Hedgehog 3, there's a lot of elements of Launch Base Zone of his song Jam in reverse. It's Jam in reverse. That's what Launch Base Zone is. Some of the elements, some of the interpolations of the Lost Base Zone track is Jam in reverse. Did y'all know that? Most of y'all probably don't even know that. And he put some elements in Jam on the that circus stage on Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I think it was Casino, not Casino. No, it was like that clown level. I forgot the name of the level of Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It's been so long since I played it. But yeah, he put some of that too. He put some stuff in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 music. Yeah. But yeah, Launch Base Zone definitely had elements in it from Jam. But he put it in reverse. Crazy in the hood. But yeah, man. He just thought that his music would make things a better place for people, man. Like, if we can come together, I don't care what ethnicity you are, if we can come in together and enjoy what he did, and also everybody else, that we can come together and make the world a better place. There's no excuse for it. For me, you know what I'm saying? You and the entire human race. Heal the world. Nowadays, there's a lot of hate. More hate, less love. Let's get back to the love part. I'm pretty sure that's what he wanted. That's what he wanted. That's what Michael wanted. There's too much hating going on. Not enough love for my taste. That's me on a personal level, my opinion. You know? We gotta get back on track. There was a lot of songs where he explained that. He explained about the evil corporations. They don't care about us. I told you, Michael is a conscious brother, man. You gotta really listen to him. You gotta really listen to Michael Jackson. Yeah, they don't care about us, and they still don't care. Then the all be all from that. They didn't care about him either. Like I said, man, he wanted you to know. He was trying to tell y'all. He was trying to tell us what's going on. I know I'm all over the place, but it's only natural for me to like talk about this and all the stuff that he did and all the songs he made. You know, fun songs, songs that you need to be aware of, Songs where he tried to explain to you, like, they don't care about us. Money this time around. Scream with our sister Janet. Leave me alone. Just leave him alone. He wasn't afraid to speak up to the powers that be. He wasn't afraid. And you shouldn't be afraid either. And I thank him. Whatever opinion you have on him, we should give him props for exposing a lot of things, man. Especially when he bought the Beatles catalog. There was some music that the Beatles owned, and Michael gave it right back to the rightful owner. For an example, Little Richard. Little Richard was not making any money for his music. But when Michael bought the Beatles catalog, he gave it back. See, he played dumb. He didn't think. Like, there was some people that knew the business, but they didn't know he knew the business. He had to learn. He had to learn from somewhere. And so, Brother Michael, he was moving in silence. He was like, that publishing, owning your masters is important. He was trying to get across. He was trying to, get that, to the world, man. Because the music business, it's a dirty game. He was trying to reach out to the people with that. But yeah, he was a perfectionist indeed. Now that I'm much older now, I understand a lot about what he was trying to convey beyond the songs that he did. Because growing up, I didn't understand, I'm over here 4 or 5 years old trying to do the moonwalk. And I could do it. Yeah, man. There would not be an artist like him. Nah, I don't think for the rest of my lifetime or yours. No one's like him. Not today's pop stars, no. I don't see it. Now, I'll say the closest thing. Whatever opinion you have about this guy, but you have to agree to this. Because Michael Jackson did say he was going to be the next big thing. And that's Chris Brown. But I just felt like when Michael said that, them people, man, that was trying to get at Chris Brown, and they did, by using Rihanna. Now, because before all of that, Chris Brown, clean slate. Like, his 2005, 2007 run needs to be studied. Chris Brown, he was going to be. But when Michael told him, before he died, Chris Brown was going to be the next big thing, they attacked Chris Brown. And it was like, we're not going to have another Michael In this music, no, nuh-uh. And that's what they did, man. Now he's being reduced to, I did something very controversial to the point it will always follow me wherever I go. But yeah, man. This is just like an appreciation stream of, you know, with me, appreciating Michael. Of being the master of craftsman when it comes down to music, man. Thank you. The king of pop. You know. Shout outs to him, the Jackson family, the whole 9 yards, bro. Legend would never die. Was a great impact. To me and what I think of music and what I love about music and dancing. Great influence, for sure. But yeah, I'm going to talk about this movie and what I feel about it. You know, I did see the movie early on today. It's what I thought it would be. Like I said earlier, this movie is for the new generations of people that will probably be fans of Michael Jackson, or probably already fans of Michael Jackson, and seeing everybody around the world. And I'm looking on Twitter and Instagram about when this movie premiered, the whole world stopped to watch this movie. Like it was a priority. You see the impact he has on people, man. It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm seeing people from France, Poland, Middle Eastern countries, Germany, Australia, especially in America, Japan, South Korea, like we was talking about earlier about the K-pop, J-pop stuff. He had a heavy influence in that. They all rave for Michael Jackson in this movie. And shout outs to everybody that was in this movie. Jafar, his nephew, did a great job portraying Michael. Did a great job. You know. Colin Domingo did a great job playing as Joe. Nia Long, Catherine. Everybody did a great job. Young Michael, everybody did a great job in this movie. But I do have some criticisms about this movie. I do. Well, now Michael is a perfectionist. So, I believe if he was to see this himself, he would point this out. If Michael was to see this movie himself, he would point this out. Okay, the performance that we probably all saw, all you 1990, 80s, 70s, 60s babies that saw this Motown performance he did when he did the moonwalk on live television, y'all probably saw it a million times. Okay? when Jafar did the moonwalk and he did the spin and he did the toe joint, he had it in one place for like a second, but the first time Michael did it, he didn't do it right. Because when he was closing the show while the song was ending, he did the moonwalk again, and he did the toe joint and he did it better. And he complained about it after the performance. He complained about it. But Jafar did it the first time. Like the first time he was supposed to do a moonwalk, did the spin. Did, when he's standing on his toe, he held it like perfect, but that didn't happen that way the first time. It was the second time Michael did it. You know what I'm saying? It was the second time Michael did it. Cause that was bugging him. He was like, man, I wish I would have held, had my toe like standing like a little bit longer. But eventually he perfected that in later performances. We've seen it, And the thing is, about this movie, I took my time to want to go see this movie because, I seen this already. I know like what's gonna happen, because I lived in some of it. Seeing it growing up. Seeing like the history of Michael Jackson growing up, But like I said, this is for the new generation. This is for the Generation Alpha, Generation Betas to know who he is. And I also do feel that they played it safe in this movie. They played it safe. A lot of stuff that I can tell that they edit some parts out that was skipping a lot of things that was critical to Michael's life, especially meeting James Brown, especially like meeting like Diana Ross, which Michael was in love with Diana Ross. She was a great part of his life too. As he was getting older and performing and doing variety shows, But I know it's Michael centered. It's not Jackson's centered, but they could at least had that in there. Like the movie felt like a compilation than a cohesive movie. But it was still good because they highlighted what he did as a performer. That's my criticisms of the movie. And also now some of this stuff is true, but some of the stuff is inaccurate. It felt like how should I put it? It's like Straight Outta Compton all over again. You have a biopic and they put a lot of stuff and they add a lot of stuff that probably never happened or never was said in the movie because it's in the movie. It's part of the dramatization. But still a good movie. It's doing well in the box office as it should. But like I said, they played it safe. They're thinking about the future generations of people that will probably seeing Michael in a way that, oh man, this guy is the deal right here. This guy is a big deal. And they're looking at him as like the guy to go to if they want to like be inspired in music or doing music, period. Whatever it is, music, singing, rapping, dancing, music production, whatever. That's what they was going for. And it worked. Like I said, I've seen kids dressing up in Michael Jackson outfits, going to the movies. Like, got different eras of Michael Jackson. The off the wall era, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous. You know, the His Story era. You know, Invincible. Seeing all that, all these kids dressing up as Michael Jackson, you know, and having the bad outfit, the beat it jackets, the Billie Jean, you know, outfit, like that, and that's another thing too. You have to have a certain fashion that sticks out when you're an artist like that, because people will be like, "Oh, I remember that outfit when he wore it back in like '87." That's one of my favorite like outfits that he wore during that time. You know? Like, fashion is important when you're a pop star, man. Because it will go back to, because you're making a statement as an artist, like, yo, this is what y'all need to be rocking. You know, and everybody else will flock to it and probably rock the same joint you on. So Mike knew what he was doing when it came down to fashion, bro. You know? But yeah, I enjoyed the movie though. There's another criticism I would like to say, excuse me. I don't like how they made Joe Jackson the antagonist of the movie, you know? Even though I would say he was hard on his kids, he was stern, you know, he did push them to, you know, especially Michael, because he knew Michael had something. Joe knew Michael had something special, you know. You know, and I talked about this with my mom. He didn't know how to turn the business Joseph Jackson off. You know, he wasn't really a dad to his kids. It was more his children was the business, and that's it. There wasn't, you know, he would tell his children not to call him dad. Why are you telling your children not to call him dad? But back to the movie, you know, I don't like the fact still that they try to make him this big bad villain in the movie, you know. Like I said, dramatization. You know, even though Michael said, Joe is just a meanie. You know, it's still, because that sends the message that, well, damn. That's all he did. I'm pretty, because everybody has problems in their families. Everybody got family problems. You know, because, you know, seeing this movie, people gonna probably judge Joe to be this. Well, god dang, like he didn't want Michael to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? What type of father is that? You know, it sends like the wrong message. But they don't know the full story on why he was like that, you know? Why he was like that to his sons. And also his daughters, well, mainly Janet. And also, speaking of Janet, she was not mentioned in this movie. She did not want to be part of this movie. And I wonder why she did not want to be part of this movie, because she lived through all of that, you know? She grew up around her brothers in show business. She was on Good Times. Like I said, I know it's Michael-centered, but they had LaToya. They ain't had Raby or Janet. You trying to tell me LaToya was the only sister in the movie? You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot of inaccuracies. Just a tiny bit, you know. But yeah, man, I wonder why Janet was like, no, I don't want nothing to do with this movie. You know? Like, and I feel like if Michael was still living, this movie would be very different. I think it would have been more in depth if Michael was still with us and he was like searing this movie. It would have been more in depth if Michael was still here, for sure. Yeah, it was a lot of skipping, a lot of edits going on in the movie, man. Like, I could just tell when something is edited. You know, like, the movie is still good, don't get me wrong, but it was just a lot of things were missing that we probably already know and seen. You know, for all the older fans out there, that's a follower of Michael and the Jackson family. But yeah, if you gonna do a biopic, tell the full story. But you know, I was told, you know, from a friend of mine that the movie was really supposed to be 4 hours long, and they cut it to 2. So they already saying that they're gonna make a part 2 of Michael, and we're gonna see how that turned out, because that out of all the Michael Jackson movies, they never went past bad. Especially while Michael was alive. They never passed the bad era. They didn't go to the dangerous era. Or his story era. Or Invincible, shoot. You know what I mean? I like to see how that turned out. How you meet Chris Tucker, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, there's a lot of, you know, skipping in during those times, you know. I'm just like, man. The reason why I'm looking down is because this light is blinding me, man. That's why I wear sunglasses. But I really want y'all to see, you know, MasterBoris without the glasses, because I'm talking about somebody that inspired me heavily on music and dance. You know what I'm saying? This is some real stuff right here. You know? But yeah, the movie was cool. It's what I thought it would be. You know? I didn't come, you know, with the expectation of, man, it's gonna be a lot of stuff in there that we don't know about. It was just the performances that Jafar really did a great job of, you know, having that essence of his uncle. You know, I thought he was really cool in that movie, man. He did a good job for sure. Great job. But yeah, man, that's just something to think about. You know, Janet didn't want to be involved. A lot of, you know, people didn't want to be involved, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, like I said, man, everybody got problems. Yeah. Just tell it like it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. That's pretty much it, guys. That's all I'm gonna talk about tonight. I'll probably decide to make more videos about Michael and the history of him at a later date. But that's all I wanted to say for now. Okay. You know, because there's a lot of things we can talk about when it comes down to Michael Jackson. Yeah. But hopefully, I mean, if you watching this VOD, thank y'all for tuning into the stream. Thank y'all. You know, I appreciate y'all support, and I will always say that, you know, your support is much needed for sure, especially on the YouTube side of the game. You know, doing dual streaming right now on Twitch, YouTube. Holla at your boy, man. Support MasterBoris. You know, because I do a variety of videos here. You know what I'm saying? We have some serious conversations and some sorts of entertainment, and, you know, we just keep it pushing. You know? So yeah, I'm about to wrap this up. Thank y'all for coming to the stream. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.